As a finance professional, you're creating valuable dashboards, forecasts, and reports every day. But here's the problem, no one is listening. That's because when it comes to finance, being accurate isn't enough anymore. I discovered this firsthand when I started working as a finance business partner early in my career. Despite my perfect models and dashboards, I wasn't invited to important meetings. Why? Because I was speaking like an expert to non-experts. And that's when I realized that if I want people to listen, I need to transform that complex financial data into clear, actionable insights that help people make decisions, aka financial storytelling. So if you're a finance professional who wants to be heard, get promoted faster and have more influence in your company, this video is exactly what you need, as I will cover the 4 key strategies you need to master financial storytelling. Starting with strategy number 1, use the 3 what technique. Let's begin with what I believe is the most transformative framework for any finance professional who wants to be understood, the 3 what technique. Why do I want to start with that? Well, because this is the one that hurts the most. Not knowing what message you want your audience to remember, care about, and act upon. From my years as an expert in financial storytelling and discussions with CFOs, I see this is where you most have difficulties. We start with the first. What happened? This is your observation, coming from your analysis, but here already, I want you to go a step further. Don't just mention what you observed in your P&L, your cash flow, or any other parts of the financials. Go to the root cause and understand that all effects in the financials come from something that happened in the real world. Is it a price issue? Why? Is it coming from the volumes? What happened? By using multiple techniques of filtering, you will eventually get to communicate 2-3 main elements maximum. Oh, and one last tip for how you formulate your what. Reverse the narrative. Instead of saying our revenue decreased by 2 million because our volume in the UK declined with 2% versus last year, say we sold 2% less in the UK versus last year, leading to a decline in revenues of 2 million. You'll see that has a much better effect. When you have the what, this is the time to move to the so what. This is the part where your value really shows. It's where you translate numbers into business consequence, but also relate it to your stakeholders' target. This is supposed to be the emotional part where your audience will care about why it matters to them. So play on what you know about them, and if you want to make it simple, everyone cares about their bonuses, just extrapolate to what this means regarding their end objectives. You could say, this drop in the sales in the UK puts ours 2 million behind budget. And if we don't address this, we're risk of not reaching the budget by 8 million. Meaning we won't be able to finance our project XYZ. Now we've got people's attention. This is where decision makers start listening, because now it's about them, their targets, their risks, their pressure. And after you get their attention, you finally get to the now what. This is where you go from observer to advisor. And in that sense, you must consider your audience, and in most cases, your audience won't accept being told by finance what they must do. This is why instead of recommendations, you offer quantified options. Like option A, if we invest 100k in the marketing campaign proposed, we will likely recover 600k in the next 6 months. Option B, if we reduce our OPEX by 500k, we may have a collateral effect on our retention of 200k. Lower upside, but leaner. This framework is simple, but when done right, it's the fastest way to move from interesting information to actual impact, insights. Now, before I go to the second strategy, if you're looking to get even more help, I created a neutral guide about financial storytelling and presentations in finance. It literally contains everything I teach on my trainings, and I'm giving it away completely for free. Just click the first link below to get it. Now, back to the video. Strategy number 2. Tailor your message to the audience. One of the biggest mistakes I see, even from very experienced finance professionals, is giving the same presentations to everyone. But let me be clear, the same content doesn't work for every audience. If you're speaking to executives, clarity and brevity matter more than detail. They want to know the conclusion first, not the entire path you took to get there. So lead with your headline. EBITDA is 6% below target this quarter due to two main factors, one internal, one external. Then, if they ask, you can expand, but don't assume you need to prove yourself in the first 2 minutes. You're there to help them decide, and that's why they generally receive a pre-read before the meeting. This is what we call the pyramid structure or prelusive approach. Top line message first, followed by supporting layers only if requested. Now, if you're presenting to experts, people in operations, marketing or product for example, the story flips. These people often want to understand how you got to their conclusion. They don't need simplification, they need logic. That's where the diamond structure or deductive approach comes in. You guide them through the facts, walk them through the drivers, and build up to a clear recommendation. It shows respect for their expertise, and it also builds your credibility as someone who's done the work. In short, don't just prepare slides, prepare for the people. Because the same message lands completely differently depending on who's in front of you. Strategy number 3, build visuals that clarify. Now let's talk slides. The goal of your visuals isn't to look smart or to be as complete as possible. It's to make others feel smart for understanding what you're saying. Let me give you some practical principles. Start with one message per slide. If you have 3 key takeaways, well, give them 3 separate slides, because clutter is the fastest way to lose people. Then when you have your message, write a headline that tells the story. And for that, think of your main message from the 3 what that we discovered earlier in this video. April results doesn't mean anything, it doesn't tell me anything. But if I write promo push in April triggered revenue acceleration and margin leverage, well, it makes me want to look at the graph and listen further to what the presenter has to say. Next, declutter. Remove anything that doesn't support your message. That includes not only adding the data that matters to your message and removing grid lines, legends, decorative icons, unnecessary colors, anything that turns your slide into a puzzle instead of a window. You also want to put the focus on the data point that will participate to your audience understanding of your main message. And then, when you have your graph, your clean graph, you add your text that must be clear enough, short, concise, and support your message. And be structured with either bullet points or any other typographic style that's easy to scan, because people don't read, they scan your text. A well-designed slide helps your audience keep up with your voice. And that's exactly what you want in a decision-making meeting. And last but not least, strategy number 4, speak with authority and confidence. How you deliver matters. You've done your work, you've got the insight, but if your delivery doesn't carry confidence, your message will get lost, even if your numbers are accurate. Let's start with your voice. You must vary your tone to emphasize what matters. You don't have to perform, but you do need to guide attention. If everything sounds the same, people tune out. Use pauses when you hit a key point. It gives weight to your message. Let people catch up. Next, be aware of your filler words. We all have them. Things like basically or I think chip away at your authority. One trick I use is to replace those filler words with silence. It feels uncomfortable at first, but to your audience, it sounds confident. Then there's the way you structure your transitions. Instead of jumping from one slide to the next, use narrative signposts. You could say, we expected X to happen, but what we saw was completely different. That contrast makes people listen. Or, this explains the drop in the UK. Now let's talk about what we can do about it. You're guiding them through the story, not just showing them the slides or go point by point. And for that, nothing beats knowing your structure and rehearsing as many times as possible. Practice is the key here. So there you have it, the 4 strategies you can use to present your insights in a way that others can understand it and make decisions. Now, if you're serious about taking your financial storytelling skills to the next level, then click the first link in the description to get my ultra guide for storytelling and presentations for finance. It's a 200-page document packed with all my best techniques. So click on the first link below to download it for free. And for the finance leaders watching this, if you're looking to transform your entire team's financial storytelling and presentation skills, I also offer customized training programs. You can book a call with me below as well, and I can explain more about how that works. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.